Hey, I'm down at the beach down in Gulf Shores, Perdido Key, Alabama, and getting ready for a triathlon. I'm too old to do that. We got a big triathlon here this weekend, so I played hooky, took a little time off from Baton Rouge, and came on down here to spend a few days by myself with my dog. Been training a good bit in the ocean, swimming in the ocean, riding my bicycle, and getting ready for a triathlon that'll probably set me back a couple of months that takes place this weekend. A lot of changes have taken place down here at this beach. As so many of you who come over here regularly know, I grew up on Romar Beach, which is just the last beach before you get into Florida. Came down here on many occasions when there was virtually nothing down here but a few beach houses, no stores. You had to shop 20 miles away, no restaurants. If you wanted your laundry done, you did it up in Foley, Alabama, and then left your sheets when you went home and picked them up 4 months later. You couldn't wash your clothes because the water was too hard. Didn't have television, didn't have air conditioning, didn't have telephones. And so it was a whole different world back then. It sure changed now with all the condominiums here. One thing that's different than Louisiana is insurance costs over here. We've got a place over here just on the Florida line, and the insurance costs are significantly lower on a square foot basis than what they would be back in Baton Rouge, which is 110 miles north of the coast. And so you kind of wonder, what is the problem? Why, living right on the coast, as you can see in the background, where there's dangers of hurricanes throughout the summer, is it cheaper to buy insurance here than it is in Louisiana? Well, you got to hand it to Florida. They've done a number of things. We've got some of the business groups in Louisiana that say, oh, you don't want to emulate Florida. Florida's got a terrible situation that does not encourage insurance companies. Well, I guess the proof is in the pudding. There's been virtually no new insurance companies come into Louisiana since Katrina. I think 35 or 40 have come into Florida. Rates are down. There's a lot of competition. They have what we have in Louisiana, this Citizens Fair plan, or this Citizens Plan, if you can't buy insurance anyplace else, but it's much cheaper than it is in Louisiana. And the reason is, it's just like you starting a business. You know, say you want to start a restaurant or a cleaner, something like that in Louisiana. You got to have three things, don't you? You got to have some capital to get you started. You certainly have to have insurance in case the worst happens. And you got to have some management skills and to try to understand what you're doing right. Well, this citizens group in Louisiana had none of those. It was just a disaster from word go. The legislature, the insurance officials did nothing to build in checks and balances. For example, the citizens in Florida has put in from the legislature about $1 billion. So much each year that's grown to be $1 billion. In Louisiana, the legislature did not put up one single penny. Well, you can't start a business with no money coming into it. The other thing, there was no management. You've read in the papers where the CEO, the top guy of Citizens, is now facing charges for misspending some $250,000, I believe. And so it shows that there was a real lack of any management or oversight. And then the third thing is that just like you and I buy insurance, insurance companies buy insurance. They call it reinsurance. No reinsurance of any substantial amount. So when Katrina came in, there should have been 85% of all the costs, insurance costs, that was shifted to the reinsurers over in London, like Lloyd's of London, someone like that. We didn't have any reinsurance of any amount in Louisiana. As a consequence, that's why you and I are stuck with this $1 billion and growing tab, because of the lack of foresight and the outright incompetence of those overseeing and running Citizens. So it's a marked difference. I could spend a long time telling you about some of the other insurance differences, the fact that we don't do a lot of the things that encourage small businesses to get together and form their own insurance organizations like they do in Florida. So it's cheap. So any way you cut the mustard, we pay less here in Florida, right on the beach, than we do on a square foot basis living in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. There's something wrong with that, folks. So if you feel strongly about it, you might want to talk to your legislators and get them involved, because right now this is a huge mess that we have in Louisiana. Hey, I'm going to be here working out this weekend. I'll keep you posted next week in a film on my triathlon, maybe give you some film highlights of me on the bicycle and trying to keep up with all these 20-year-olds. But I hope you have a good week, and glad you enjoyed my video. Look over the rest of the website. I'm going to go out and enjoy the beach. Take care.